safely home, everyone, every day. I'm pleased to be with you here today to talk about our safety journey within Caterpillar and the dealerships in a service shop. Service is obviously the core of our dealership. It's the core of what differentiates us from competition. It's also the highest risk area of the dealership from a safety perspective. This is the key area of the dealership that we need to focus on from the standpoint of improving our safety journey. Everyone within Caterpillar, within our dealerships, within customers, has a right to go home every day without being injured. Obviously, a workplace injury, an injury in your personal life can be devastating to families, to you personally. We all have a responsibility to drive improvement within our business, within our customers' businesses, obviously within Caterpillar's business. There's a number of areas that we would ask you to think about enacting within the dealership to drive improvement in this area. First of all, leadership. You know, it takes the leadership of the dealership to accept that safety is something we can improve, and we need to drive our safety results down to 0 incidents. Personal protective equipment. Clearly, we need to make sure employees are protected from potential incidents that occur. In a service operation, the two key areas that drive safety incidents are typically hands and eyes. Potentially not serious incidents, particularly with hands, but reportable and requiring medical first aid. Hence, glove policy, glass policy are critical to reducing the number of incidents we see. Another simple idea is having a toolbox talk at the start of a day. Employees are thinking about safety as they start work. Within Caterpillar, we've also instituted a stretching and exercise policy at that time so that people are limbered up for the physical work they're about to start. Another idea would be to do a risk assessment on the job that an employee is about to start, to look at what are the potential safety incidents that they will encounter, and do they have a plan to deal with those before they start the work. Ideally in a documented form, can drive tremendous improvements. One of the things that we see as Caterpillar is that typically a shop that has good safety results has tremendous operating results as well. Safety is absolutely the most critical thing we can do, but that will drive other improvements into the business. So we see this as a critical area that we have to focus on together. Caterpillar and our dealers have a commitment to our customers that our products and solutions and service will make them more competitive in what they do. One area that clearly impacts that is our provision of a safe service to the customer. Obviously, a customer's job site and field service at that job site is a high-risk environment. We don't have a lot of the protections that we have in a workshop environment. Clearly, we have customers as well, some who are very focused from a safety standpoint and are driving us to do better, others who we need to influence and help come on a safety journey with us and improve the lives for their employees. At the extreme example, we do have a risk in some cases of actually not being able to work on some customers' job sites because of our safety performance not being at their expected level. So this is really a critical element that we need to drive improvement towards in order to make sure we can provide a differentiated service and really help guide our customers towards a better safety performance. Obviously in this environment there's lots of risks. One area I'd like to highlight, which is relevant to a field serviceman because of time driving, but really to all of us as we drive our vehicles, is the use of phones while we're driving. Really even the use of phones as you're walking around. I'd ask you to think about your distraction when you're using the phone, be it texting, doing an email, or talking on the phone. Clearly we have to be very careful about those activities when we're really doing anything else. I'd ask you when you're driving to make sure that you're eliminating texting, and if you have to talk on the phone, make sure you're in a driving environment that can enable that. And if you're not, stop and take that activity away from the driving environment. Within the dealership and within Caterpillar, we obviously have work environments that are lower risk than the service operation, but we still have risk in everything we do. In the office, like here in the parts counter, in the parts operation, we still have to be vigilant about our attention to detail. Within Caterpillar, one of the things we've tried to implement is a safety briefing at the beginning of all meetings. Why do we do that? To bring people's attention to the safety subject as they go about their work, such that we can eliminate incidents within the workplace and even within home. Within the parts operation, obviously a relatively low-risk environment, but one in which we bring relatively low-experienced employees into the dealership and put them to work relatively quickly. This can produce some risk. Within Caterpillar, we've recently seen an uptick in parts demand, and we've had to bring a number of new employees into our parts operations areas. And with that, we've seen an uptick in incidents because of that lack of experience. That's something that we're focusing on to make sure that we orient employees to their task before they go to work. As you're aware, as Caterpillar, we've set new goals for the dealership to try and bring attention to safety performance overall. We've set a minimum goal of 3 relative to reportable injury frequency, and we want to see that move down to 2 and 1 over time, ultimately heading for 0. It's not about the target, it's about the momentum moving in the right direction and us all accepting that this is something we can do together and drive improvement and eliminate injuries. Ultimately, this is a cultural journey that we all need to accept and buy into in order to drive behaviour in the right direction. I think everyone would agree, one injury is one injury too many. We want everyone to be able to go home safely every day. Thank you.